Okay, hello everyone. Good evening. Welcome to today's live section. Today we'll be doing our live analysis. Hoping you have to catch up with my strategy. Okay, so I want to start with crypto, which is Ethereum. Okay, so I'm starting with crypto, which is Ethereum. On today's analysis, we'll be we'll be looking at a 1 day time frame of Ethereum, so we could know the possible next possible target of Ethereum. So, as you all know, before I start my analysis, I would like to write down the areas you would pay attention before you start joining my strategy. These are trend, support, and resistance. Okay, so these are the things I pay attention to when I'm doing my analysis: my trend, my support and resistance, my chart patterns, candlestick pattern, breakout and retest, and market cycle. So before you start taking any trade, first you need to know, are we in uptrend or a downtrend? Remember, trending market is always the most profitable market. So when a market is in an uptrend, you're looking to long. If a market is in a downtrend, you'll be looking to sell. So a ranging market will always result to many losses. So whenever you trade, you make sure that you're trading a trending market. It's very, very important. Instead, you would be in loss. So before I start, I would need to identify my trend. There is no other way I identify my trend other than spotting my cycle. Whenever I spot my cycle, then I could be able to identify my trend. So this is 1 day time frame. So I have many cycles on this area. So right now, let me say I have cycle here. Okay, I have a cycle here. Then I'll look for a cycle very close to the market price. This is, I have one here. I have one here. So I could differentiate the colors of this cycle. It's could use red for this. And this I'll use red. Okay, so now there are two cycle on this place, the one in a blue line and the one in a red line. So you could actually use any cycle of your choice, but if you if you're opportune to see a cycle very close to the market price, is actually very okay, because it's going to give you a direct analysis rather than a pattern, a cycle that is far away from the market price. So always choose the cycle that is closer to the market price. So whichever cycle, I can see many cycles that I can identify at this place. Whichever one I'm using, all of them will get me to the main to the same direction. There is a cycle here. If I pick this resistance, okay, if I pick this resistance here and this support, I'm going to get a cycle, and it's still going to give me the same thing. So right at the moment, this is my cycle that started here, and it's a complete cycle. So whenever price comes up to the resistance of this cycle, a complete trend is being formed. So now my market is in an uptrend. So I can confirm from my charts that my market is in an uptrend. So I'll be looking for long, having that in mind that your market is in an uptrend. So you are likely to play long unless the market is about to reverse. So you need to draw your trend because this is an uptrend. So the last trend ended here. The last trend started, okay, okay, with this cycle. The last trend started here and ended here because there was a trend here that moved here and moved up again before coming back. So the last trend ended here. So that was the last uptrend. So at the moment, I need to draw my uptrend. So right now, because my swings on this one day, it's a bit tinier, so I need to go down to my lower time frame, like 4 hours, so I could be able to get a very good swing to help me draw my trend perfectly. If my swings on the one day, it's actually big enough, I don't need to go down to the lower time frame. But since my trend on one day it's not big enough, I need to go down to my lower time frame to get a good trend with a good swing. So I'm taking my trend. Whenever you're drawing your trend, make sure you zoom out. Make sure you zoom out. So I'm drawing my trend from here to here. So you connect the last two swing lows, and the swing high. So make sure your trend touches the upper side and the lower part of it twice. So this price moved this way here and touched this way. So I need my trend to give me a good touch on both sides. So I need a good touch on both sides. Okay, so this the first touch, second touch, another touch, and another touch. So this is my trend. So at the moment, there was a trend breakout at this place. So this is how my strategy works. As a trend breakout, you look out for a chart pattern that is forming. So right now, this is my trend breakout that happened right at this candlestick, right at this candlestick. So this is my trend breakout. So immediately after this trend breakout, a chart pattern will start forming. So you look out for a chart pattern immediately after this trend breakout. So you leave the candle of the breakout, then you start drawing your pattern from the next candlestick. So the next candlestick is definitely this one, the second candlestick after the breakout candlestick. So likely I'm having something like this. Having something like this at this moment. I'm having something like this. Oh, this is likely what I'm having. Even if you like put it this way or anything, but like this is a complete swing here. So my chart pattern rules, if you trade chart patterns form, I told you on my last videos, it forms if it's only double top and double bottom that has two swings if they are chart pattern, but every other chart pattern uses three swings. So if you want to know likely chart pattern forming, so take from this after the breakout candlestick, take this part here, choose this part, start from here where a swing is formed, this, 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 and this. So like try to join just your swings, just get your swings. So I'll tell you what to do. So this ended here. So try to get your swings. If you want to draw your chart patterns, so let me delete this. Let me delete this. So right at the moment, you would need a chart pattern that to connect these lines, you connect the lines, these lines. So because a chart pattern forming here, it's actually trickish. So it's not a regular chart pattern. So you start from here, try to connect. If you connect this line, if you try to connect this support here, it does not make any sense. So you delete. If you try to connect this support, it makes a little bit sense. So if you try to connect this, okay, it still makes sense. If you try to connect this, okay, so let's see anyone that works for us. So you try to delete this parts. So I'm going to connect this. If I try to connect this, it is only one swing. It does not make sense. So I'll call this one complete swing. So I'll join this together. And if it's this, you see that this one is just one complete swing. It does not make sense. So I think this is only stuff that makes sense in this place. So right at the moment, this chart pattern is not complete, but it looks like it's a breakout. So this is a irregular chart pattern. So I'll tell you how to trade this kind of chart pattern. So normally a chart pattern forms with three swings. So this is how this was supposed to form. This was supposed to form this way. And wherever the third leg is completed is always where the breakout happens. But this happened to have a breakout at this place. So how do you trade this kind of chart pattern? So right at the moment, these lines are still active. You can extend this line, make it indefinite, extend to the right. Okay. Extend this one to the right again. Good. So this is your chart pattern forming. So this looks like so this at this moment, it's look at the shape it gives you. Hold on. Look at the shape it's giving you. So look at the shape it's giving you. So look at the shape it's giving you. So this is a triangle chart pattern. And when a triangle chart pattern is forming, it signals continuation of trend. That is what it signifies. It signifies continuation of trend. So right at this moment, it means this uptrend is going to continue. That is the essence of this chart pattern forming at this place. So whenever you see a continuation chart pattern, it means that the uptrend is going to continue. Like the price will continue going up. If a reversal pattern was forming here, that means it's actually going to be different. But this is a reversal. This is a continuation pattern. This is a triangle. So this is a triangle. It's not just the regular triangle that looks this way, that looks this way. The one, the chart pattern, the regular one that looks this way. So this is a triangle, like it's shaped this way because this trend is actually very bullish. So now this pattern is expected to, on this area that had a breakout, this is just one leg of this pattern going out and is expected to come back at this place. It's expected to be back at this place and break out anywhere in this line. Whenever it breaks out, then you have to measure from here to wherever it breaks out. Even if it takes a lot of time to come down back at this place, you're still going to measure the point of breakout. Then you place this measurement, you measure from here to here. That's how you measure your chart pattern. You always measure the bigger side. Then you place it at the point of, now this have not broken out. So this needs to come back at this pattern. The leg outside this is just like a fake out. A lot of people would trade this as a reversal chart pattern, but it's never a reversal chart pattern. This is a triangle, and this is just a fake out leg of it coming out, and it needs to go back inside and breaks out, and price gonna trade higher. So I'm expecting Ethereum to trade like 3.5 in the next coming days. So maybe it's gonna take like 1 week or like few days. So, but I'm expecting Ethereum to trade 3.5, 3.6 to 3.8 in the next coming days. So I'm expecting price to rally up. Sometimes it doesn't go straight. It might go like this. The more time it takes to go up, to meet up with this, the more it's expected to pump, because if it arrives here early, the targets might be shorter. If it's keep going up before it gets here, the target is actually going to be more. It's only the time when it breaks out, that is when you measure. But for the time it needs to get here, it can still be going up, pulling back, going up, pulling back, going up, pulling back, making the market a whole lot of difficult to trade. A whole lot of people will be trading this and they will be trying to short, not knowing that it is a continuation pattern that is forming. It's not direct, but it will always come with confusion. So whenever you see this kind of continuation pattern, this is how they form. They likely form like this, like this, like this. Then one leg will go out, the leg go out and come back again to complete and breaks out, and that is how the chart pattern is. It's a continuation, it's a triangle. So the way you differentiate this triangle and a rising wedge, a rising wedge starts with, let me give you a hint. Whenever there is a breakout, of a trend, look, I'm going to give you a breakout to differentiate between a rising wedge and a continuation triangle. So I hope you learned something today. Let me go to a new space. So I'm giving you a hint to identify between a continuation triangle and a rising wedge. So right now, if this is your trend, and price is actually going this way, if price is moving up like this, goes up, comes down, goes up. Whenever there is a breakout, after the breakout candle, if price after the breakout candle retraces back immediately and starts forming a pattern, this is likely going to be a reversal pattern. Let me repeat myself again. After a breakout candle, this happens in an uptrend or a downtrend. So after a breakout candle, and immediately after the breakout candle, the price pulls back immediately. It pulls back immediately and forms and continue going up again. It's likely to form a reversal chart pattern. But immediately there is a breakout. So this is a reversal chart. This is how reversal chart pattern, how to spot the reversal chart pattern. It's confusing with continuation reversal chart pattern. So this is reversal chart pattern. So, but if price is doing this, let's say market is going up on a trend, going up on a trend, going up on a trend, and it breaks out. After the breakout, the price keep going higher and higher, and it pulls back and it continues consolidating. This is likely going to form a continuation chart pattern. Now, the breakout happens and the price continue going higher, it's likely going to form a continuation chart pattern. So that is how you identify this triangle. So you won't be confused with this triangle and a wedge. And sometimes it breaks out like a wedge, it breaks out the support. Oh, a lot of people will be like, oh, this is a wedge, this is a wedge. And the next thing is that price pulls back up. It might still come out again, it pulls back again, and that's it. Once there is a breakout at this resistance, it's actually going to pump higher. So this is continuation triangle. So this is continuation triangle. So this is a continuation triangle, whereas this is wedge, your rising wedge, that is reversal. So know the difference. If there is a breakout, immediate pullback and continuation, like forming a pattern. This, when if there is a breakout, the entry is after a retest or direct. Um, Entry of a chart pattern is always at the last uh leg of it. So let me give you a hint. It's only this chart pattern that makes it confusing. This chart pattern sometimes it works with breakouts and retest. So watch what this Ethereum did. I'll show you what Ethereum did that made it look as if price was going to correct. So now watch the areas of this area that this pattern formed. The area that the pattern formed. Look, mark out the resistances in that area. This is the first resistance in this chart pattern. This is the second resistance. This is the support, this area. So now watch. Now there was a breakout here in this chart pattern. When this chart pattern was forming, there was a breakout here. After the breakout, so after the breakout, price continued going up without retesting this region of breakout. So when this chart pattern was forming, this looking like a breakout here was actually going to retest this area. So if you're looking for an entry sign in whenever a similar pattern like this is forming, look out for the areas that was not retested when this chart pattern was forming, because once this breakout happens, the price is likely going to come back to that retest region to do a retest. So after this retest, this area that was left out without retest, so market's coming to retest it. After the retest, you can enter this market price from here. Just rightly at the way Ethereum here is at this area. This area is a good entry for Ethereum, and very soon the price is going to pump this way. So any other level, Ethereum might still trade back, come back here, and it will go up. So I'll show you a similar chart on forex today. I did analysis earlier this morning. So this is this is the analysis I did. This is a similar chart pattern. So this is a similar chart pattern. So watch this. If you can pay attention to this, this is likely what Ethereum is going to do in the next coming days, and a lot of people will be shocked the way the market will move. So look, once after this breakout, see what the market did. See what the market did. See what the market did. So now this was the chart pattern that formed, but after it looks like it's a breakout, so the pattern keep retesting this zone. It kept this zone, and this pattern is still very active. So look at the price. Now this went like this, and this happened. So this was where the breakout happened. So you just measure here, this is where the breakout happened, and the price just moved a little bit, and the target was completed immediately. So now this pattern that formed here got completed at this place. So this is not your regular chart pattern. If you don't know about your chart pattern, you might actually go to study hard. So I'm expecting Ethereum to do a lot of ranging in the past coming days. If it's going to range, if it's not going to range, it might move back inside quickly. But if Ethereum ranges, we're likely going to see this price of Ethereum pump very high, but it might pull up again and bounce back. So expect that. In So when that happens, you will not panic. Oh, market is dumping this or that. No, this is how this chart pattern forms. Look, it's similar to Ethereum chart pattern. I don't know how I'm going to compare this to Ethereum chart pattern, but it's actually very similar to Ethereum chart pattern. Let me know if I can use this to let me know if I can use this derivative to compare this price. Forex GPUSD. I'm trying to see if I could be able to compare these two prices, the way it formed at this place. Okay. Okay, I think this was the trend that formed. No, this is not it. Okay. I'm trying to get this exact market that formed there. Okay, Sunday, 15 May, Friday. Okay. Hold on. And so I'm trying to compare this price. This happened here with Ethereum, although it's a little bit 15 May. Okay, so I have 15 May here. Okay, a cycle. Oh, sorry, this is actually not completed here. But let me try if I could see Ethereum price on this. Let me know if I could see Ethereum on this. I don't understand what you mean by getting a retest and continuation. Okay. Trying to see if I could compare these prices of Ethereum. Nice. So if I could compare the prices of Ethereum, the pattern that formed in Ethereum to likely what is going to form soon. Oh, this does not make any sense. The chart here is not complete. So sorry. I was trying to compare the chart pattern that formed here. Well, okay. Okay, right at this moment, the same way this formed. Did I get comparison here? No, that is bullshit. Okay, so this same pattern that formed here, it's likely what Ethereum is going to do in the next coming days. So look, so watch markets pulls back, Ethereum goes back and rallies down and goes back inside. So whichever one that happens, but I know that price of Ethereum will trade very high in the next coming days, unless we go back to this cycle, which is very far. Okay, the cycle, unless price goes below 2-1, okay, 216. If price falls back here, price enters and the a downtrend, that means this is invalid. But if price stays up higher in this region, I'm expecting Ethereum to trade very high in the next couple of days. So I don't know if there is any question, so you can ask. So like we check another pair. So I'm done with Ethereum analysis. I hope you learned something today. So I'm done with Ethereum analysis. So I hope you learned something today. So probably, do I have anything on gold? So let me check gold. Maybe I would see something. Let me check gold. Maybe I'll have something. Let me see if I'll have anything on gold. What I could trade on gold. I'm mapping out my chart pattern, my cycle. So currently gold is in a downtrend. Oh, so I need to draw my trend. Okay. For the clarity of my swing, I need to go back to like 1 hour. Okay. So I have my swing here. Okay. Whoa. It's actually gonna be some kind of shit here. So the pattern for me here is actually very tricky because this is it. But right at this place, we didn't touch this third line, and price is looking as if there is a breakout here, but there is no breakout here. It's just a fake out. So price needed to touch here, this line at this, maybe any of this region, but it didn't. So all this moving, it's just still one leg. So this market is actually, you can't predict at this moment. Cannot predict. So maybe, but it's actually a bullish pattern that is trying to form. So it's a bullish pattern that was trying to form. So I was still expecting price reversal on gold. I'm expecting price reversal, but this is a bullish pattern trying to form. This is another pattern that looks confusing as well. It looks confusing when they form. So, but look what I said. When there is a breakout and immediate pullback, the next pattern likely to form, it's a reversal pattern. So you bear that in mind. So this is a reversal pattern, but it's gonna take a whole long time to complete. So break out this. So gold still needs to break out this zone for long. If you want a long gold, if it gets out of this place and retest this zone, then maybe, because this is just a range region, so gets out of here and retest, then I might take a long on gold to go to this place. If it gives me this, if we continue trading inside this area, I won't take any long on gold as far as I'm concerned. But for now, this is, I'll just stay out on gold. I'm not gonna take, with this time frame, like this 1 hour I'm on, I'm not gonna take any trade. Maybe on lower time frame I might have something to trade. But for now, I'm staying out on gold. So if there is any question you ask, we'll be able to, okay. So let me take a graphene. I need to, someone suggested I should check this. Okay, so what is graphene giving me? Yes, so wow, this is a whole lot. So let me go to the higher time frame. Let me know if there is a good pattern on higher time frame. So graphene is it in an uptrend or downtrend in higher time frame? How do I know? I mark my cycle. Currently, graphene on 1 day, it's on downtrend on 1 day. There is no complete cycle here. There is no complete cycle. I try to mark this or this. There is no complete cycle. At this current price, maybe up. Okay, there is a cycle here, but it's very far from the price. So I just choose to stay this region that is very close to the market price. So I need to go down to my 4 hours. I see. Is there something to trade? Okay, let me see if this made the complete cycle. Oh, okay. So currently, graphene is in an uptrend using this cycle is in an uptrend. So I need to draw my okay. So I need to know the low between these two. Low 561. Okay, so now right at this moment. So this is uptrend on graphene. Okay, this uptrend, is it still active? What is it doing? So because the swing of this uptrend, you draw your trend before the swing and the cycle gets completed. If I'm drawing my graphene uptrend, I'm not considering all this as my trend line. I'm drawing my trend with the swing direct at this region. The swing direct at this region. Every other swing not inside the cycle, we were expected not to touch it, not touch it. It's actually a pattern forming. So I need to go back to my lower time frame so I could get a swing. That was 4 hours, but I'm stepping down low to my other time frame to see what is it like. I think that started here. So Some markets that do not have a really good swing, it's very difficult. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. So that's why I have not actually stretched myself to do analysis on this. So this is just a way to, okay. Then so this is my Griffin. This is my Griffin on 15 minutes. So this is my Griffin on 15 minutes. And when this breakout happened, I think, okay, there's a breakout here and a price pull up. So I'm actually having a biased analysis on this market because I'm having a biased analysis. Let me go down to 5 minutes more because there was no good swing on this trend. It's actually giving me a very tough time to make predictions on. There's no good swing on it, and it's giving me a tough time. So when this price broke out here, there was immediate pullback here. So giving me a reversal pattern, but the reversal pattern is gonna be like this. Let me show you how it is. This is how the reversal pattern gonna be. You the first two swing and this, take this. All right. So extend this, extend this, extend right. So these are the kind of markets that's actually gonna take. Let's go back to our 4 hours. You see how crazy this is. Okay. So one thing is that with my 5 minutes, Griffin can only reverse if he meets this line. So chances of Griffin pumping from here all the way down here. So this is where the third leg of this chart pattern will be get completed. So, and this kind of markets, I do not like trading them because market can actually pull back to this region. It can actually pull back to this region. So if market didn't pull back here, this coin will pump all the way back until it touches this line. If it didn't touch this line, it won't continue, it won't stop pumping. So whenever Griffin wakes up to pump, it's going to meet this line one day. Maybe $1, maybe this or this, but it must meet this line unless it goes back to below 0.58. So is that very bullish? It's very bullish coin. It's a reversal pattern forming, but the third leg is actually very bullish. I did analysis on Griffin for months ago. It gave me a target of 0.4. So maybe if you hold this market, your stop loss is actually going to be here. This will invalidate this bullish bias. If price goes back to this place, it will invalidate this bullish bias here. But for now, this is actually going to be a very big pump loading on this Griffin. These are how charts with a big pump normally uh, uh, comes out. So just very soon, price is expected to rally up all the way down. Might get to 0.6, 0.7, $1, anything. So just keep an eye. It's a very bullish coin, but if you buy and hold, make sure that if it goes to 0.5 level, this bullish bias is invalidated. So that's my analysis on that. So if there is any question, you come up with your question so I could give you answers to your question before we end today's section. So far, I'm still waiting. If there is a question, you give me, so talk about it before we end today's class. entry and exit in this kind of market is actually very difficult. It's very difficult. So, but you can only use a breakout and retest. Let me delete this. You can use a breakout and retest. So for this zone, okay, go back. Good on. You can use a breakout and retest. So it means, okay, the chart pattern start forming all the way here. So maybe the zones that were left out to be retested needs to be filled before price starts rallying again. I have an area here that market is actually on. So this might be your first entry. Okay, right now market is okay. Oh, there was actually a breakout here and a retest here. So I don't consider this place valid anymore. So, but whichever is the case, now take a look. This area is left to be filled. This 0.7 area. So if you're looking for a good entry on Griffin, it's going to be this region 0.7. That has an area still left filled in this pattern that formed. I think is an area was that was broken up but without a retest. So most times price come back there to make a retest. Oh, there are still some areas, so it's gonna be a hard task. So if you want to buy and hold, you can gamble it out, but price can pull back to 0.73. But if this managed to stay above 0.5, surely the price will get to $1 or 0.7 or 0.4 region very soon. So that's my prediction on it. But this is actually difficult. I can't give a direct prediction on it. So any other question? Any other question before we wrap it up today? So right at the moment, I think there is no question anymore. So today, so thank you all for joining today's live section. I hope you learned something. Whenever you watch and you have a question, you can always drop a question on the comment section. Then we talk about it on our next class. Do have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining.